Hello and welcome to my Team Fortress 2 Trickstab tutorial. Today, we will go over the intricacies of the Matador stab, the corner stab, the stair stab, and the understab. First of all, we're going to look at the hitbox we're working with. You can see just about half of the enemy's player model is what we have to work with, right about when Engineer's hand hits his gun. All the way around to the other side, right about the end of his vest here, is our range. Now, when we are on top of the Engineer, we can also land a stab. However, this can only be done when we are crouched. If you're standing, your knife is no longer raised. If I crouch, I can get a backstab. This is very important when doing stair stabs. The first stab in our tutorial today will be the Matador stab. This is a 3-step process which can be done anywhere on the map, on flat ground, on a staircase, on top of a roof, wherever it needs to be done. So here I'm in this health kit shack to change my disguise when all of a sudden a sniper comes out of nowhere. Instead of getting one shot with his kukri, there's a better option. He throws a Girardi at me and pulls out his bushwhacker. Instead of getting one shot, I set up a trick stab right here. This is where I start my Matador stab. The first step of this stab is to juke to either the left or the right, and in this case I choose the left because I was against this wall right here. So when I juke to the left, this sniper is going to follow me. He's going to turn my direction. But right as he starts to do so, I juke back to the right as he starts to turn to that location I was just at. I turn slightly to the left, and the final step is I stab right here. That was a successful Matador stab. To clarify once more, this sniper comes down, catches me off guard. I set up my stab right here. I juke to the left to make him think I'm going this direction. Then I juke to the right, turn slightly, and stab right there. This here is another example of a Matador stab. So I'm on Harvest and I jump off of the red building's roof and I come over here to sap Engineer's teleporter and sentry. As I sap it and get ready to make my escape, this Engineer comes running back to fix his gear. Right here, I set up a Matador stab. So I know he's going to chase me with his wrench and try and hit me. My first step is to dash to the right, very slightly, just a very small dash. It doesn't take much to get the enemy to turn. I dash to the right. Step 2, I dash to the left. And step 3, I turn and stab. And you can see right as I stab, he turns to the right where I just was. He's turning because he thinks I'm going this way originally. That's why I dashed to the right first. Dash to the right, and as I dash to the left, he's going to look to that spot I was just at right as I turn and stab. This is a third example of a Matador stab. Here, I'm chasing this heavy down this hallway, and right as I stab him, he turns around. So, I know my only chance here is to pull off a trick stab, otherwise he's going to kill me. Immediately, I set up my stab. I dash to the left to make him look in this direction, and then I dash back to the right. As he looks to that location I was just at over to the left, I twist and stab. The next stab in our trick stab tutorial will be the corner stab. This stab is very similar to the Matador stab, in which it involves 3 steps, 2 strafes, and a turn and stab. Except this time we're going to use the aid of a corner to help us. So after stabbing a demo man, I run upstairs to grab some ammo to refill my cloak. all of a sudden a pyro comes up here and starts burning me. I try to set up for a matador stab right here. As you can see, I dash to the left and then to the right, but oh, he backs up and backpedals. I can't stab him if he's backpedaling. So right here, I turn and I run down the stairs. He thinks I'm hightailing it out of here because he's going to kill me. As I round this corner, I check and make sure he's still following me. And then when he can't see me, I dash to the right, wide around the corner to allow space for him to go between me and that wall right there. And then I stab right here. To clarify, he's chasing me up to this corner. I run around the corner, and then while he can't see me, I change direction, run back around the corner wide to let him go between my hitbox and the wall, and I stab him right as he runs around the corner to where he thinks I was. This is a second example of a corner stab. Here, I'm running down this staircase to go assist with the payload cart and get it to the checkpoint. As I do so, a pyro-medic combo is also running up this staircase. So I back up and make it look like I'm about to hightail it out of here right as this pyro starts to shoot at me. When I come around this corner, notice how right when he can no longer see me, I change direction to run back around the corner, and I run wide so that there's space for him to go between the corner and my player model so that we don't run into each other. And I stab him right here. His medic starts to attack me and hits me once with his uber saw, and I do the same trick to him around this corner. To clarify, I'm running down this staircase to help our team with the payload cart. A pyromedic combo comes out of nowhere. I dash around the corner, making it look like I'm running away, and when the pyro can't see me, I change direction and run wide around the corner and catch him right here. His medic tries to do the same thing to me. As the medic chases me, I go around the corner and I come back and I stab. This is a third example of a corner stab. Up here, an engineer tries to set up a mini sentry. I stab him and sap his mini sentry as a pyro starts to burn me. I come up here and I run around the corner where he can't see me, and I stay back here where he can't see me. He thinks I ran around this corner. Right as I time him, he comes up here, and I stab right here. To clarify, as I stab an engineer and sap his mini sentry, a pyro starts chasing me, and I run around a corner where he can no longer see me. So while I'm back here, I change direction. He's expecting me to be around that corner, but instead, I had come around, leaving distance for him to run between me and the corner so that we don't bump into each other, and I stab right there. The next stab in our tutorial will be the stair stab. This is going to be one of the more complicated stabs, but I will walk you through it. So the first step in a stair stab is being at a higher elevation than your opponent. It can be a staircase, it can even be an engineer's teleporter. It does not require a huge elevation change. In this case, there's a small staircase dividing myself from this platform where this sniper is. This sniper is coming up here to chase me because he saw me decloak and I bumped into him. So he's running up here to come and hit me with his kukri or try and shoot me. And I jump, I turn, and I crouch, because remember in the beginning, you have to be crouching if you want to get a backstab while standing on top of your opponent. So it's very important to crouch. If you don't crouch, you could run into your enemy here. I would run into the sniper instead of going over him and standing on his head. And even if I somehow manage to land on his head while standing, I won't be able to get the backstab. So crouch as early as you can as you turn to face his back, and while I'm standing on his head, crouched, I stab right there. This is another example of a stair stab. Here I'm disguised as an engineer, pretending to run back to spawn to get some metal. I see a demo man run out of spawn. I call out for a spy just to distract him a little bit, and while I'm on this ramp here, it's a smaller elevation change than before, but remember, you don't need a big elevation change in order to pull off a stair stab. I distract him just long enough to where I can jump, crouch, and turn 180 degrees, and when I land on his head, I stab. This is a third example of a stair stab. Right here, my attention is focused on this sniper. I come to this little nook in front of this door, and right as I decloak, a pyro comes out of nowhere. I did not know he was there, and he immediately starts to burn me. I stab the sniper as I first intended, and I run up this staircase only to find it's a dead end. With no other option, I jump, crouch, turn 180 degrees, and when I land on his head, I stab. And at this point, I have more than worn out my welcome, so I cloak and make my escape. Before I move on to the final stab of our tutorial, I want to mention something about stair stabs. When it comes to steep staircases, or just staircases in general, stair stabs can be very predictable, and oftentimes they can be seen long before you can actually get the stab, and the enemy will counter it and kill you. I recommend, as a spy, being as unpredictable as possible. In this clip, I'm running down this staircase when a demo man is coming up the stairs. Instead of doing a stair stab, which he could easily predict and back up, I decide to do a matador stab right on the staircase. I dash to the left, then I dash to the right, turn, and stab right here. He would have never expected a matador right on the middle of the staircase. The last stab in our tutorial will be the understab. This is going to be used when you have the low ground. In this case, this is a spy who I predict is going to stair stab me in our one-on-one duel. As he runs up the stairs, I predict he's going to go for a stair stab. So I play into it a little bit and run up the stairs, and right as he jumps, I look straight up, back up, and stab. And I get the understab before he can get the stair stab. Now to clarify this once again, I predict he's going to go for a stair stab because he has the high ground. As I run up the stairs to play into it, he jumps, and I know he's going to turn 180 degrees and crouch because he has to if he wants to get the stair stab. So I look straight up, back up, and stab right as he turns 180 degrees. This is why I said previously to avoid doing stair stabs when it's very predictable or obvious. A better option for this spy would be to do a corner stab at the top of the staircase or a matador on the staircase. Thank you for watching my tutorial, and as a closer, I'm going to play a few various clips of the trick stabs discussed in this tutorial. Thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.